among the plans or the strategy for border security, how much does deterrence work in using deterrence policies work into the strategy for the administration?
Can you say more?
I mean, a lot of administrations in the past have used deterrence as part of their border security strategy. How much is deterrence in sending a message and in using policies that would deter migration going to be part of the administration's policy moving forward from Title 4 after Title 42?
I mean, if you look at what the president has put forward in the past, the past several months, since the beginning of this year, when he expanded the parolee program, right? And it was a way to provide an opportunity to do that, right? So then. No, but that was a deterrence for coming to the border and a way for them to stay at home and find a way and use the app to come into the U.S. And so that is a way, an incentive, an option, a path, if you will, for them to use to figure out how can they do this in a legal pathway, to build that system, that border system that was, by the way, decimated by the last administration.
So in terms of that, of the system being decimated, now you've had 2 years to rebuild the system. You've been working on the eventual end of Title 42 since the beginning of the administration, working with groups on a plan. How confident should Americans be come May that the system will work, and that how confident should they be that the administration is prepared and the system won't be overwhelmed?
So the president's using the tools that he has in front of him to deal with a real issue. Again, Republicans are not doing anything. They're doing political stunts, and the president is actually taking action. Now, he put forth a piece of legislation on his first day in this administration.
We're hearing that this idea to detain families in detention, again, is one of a lot of policies that are currently under consideration. So I wondered if you can rule out family detention, or...
So I'm not going to go in on rumors that are out there or conversations that are happening at this time. But we've been very clear on how we're looking to how the president wants to move forward, and he's been clear from the start, from the beginning of his administration, by putting forth a comprehensive immigration reform.
I understand no decisions have been made, but the president, shortly after he came to office, put an end to this policy of detaining migrant families as a candidate. He said we should not be locking people up. You aren't ruling it out either. So why is this even being considered as a possible option now?
I'm just not going to comment on rumors that are out there. I'm not saying it's being considered. I'm not saying but I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying it is not. I'm saying that this is something that Republicans could work with us on. He put forward an immigration policy, a comprehensive immigration policy on day one, but what we're seeing on the other side is political stunts. That's what they want to do. We're not looking to do political stunts. We're looking to deal with a real issue.
But just given what we've seen from the White House in recent months, including the new asylum rule, is this basically an acknowledgement that without legislation from Congress, the policies that the president previously opposed, he now thinks are necessary in conjunction with some of those legal pathways that you mentioned?
A lot of people have compared what the president is doing as either extending what Trump did or being very Trump-like, and I just want to make sure that that is not what is happening here. What we saw in this last administration, the administration before us, was a gutting of the immigration. Trump funneled billions of dollars from military to build a useless wall. And what we did is we stopped that wall construction. Trump tore down America's refugee system, and what we are doing, we're rebuilding it and have a set of goal of resettling up to 125,000 refugees this year alone. Trump cut off critical assistance to stabilize the Western Hemisphere, and we restarted that assistance. So that is what we have been able to do in this past 2 years, and how we have been able to try to fix something that the last administration has decimated.
Pieces that are still in use or have been revived, is that sort of an acknowledgement that they are now necessary or deemed necessary?
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. From day one, the president has put forth a bill that would expand legal pathways. We have said over and over again, if Republicans in Congress would come and work with us to deal with this issue, we can get it done. We can get it fixed instead of the political stunts that they're doing. Okay.
Advocates are already calling it shameful. Democrats on the Hill have called it unacceptable, and a number of Democrats and immigrant advocates are calling for the White House to publicly deny
those reports, what's your response to
My,
that?
my response is these are rumored conversations that I'm just not going to speak to. We've laid out very